Hi, guys.
What's up?
Hello.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Everybody.
Again, love the intro. Just love it.
I gotta
It's-
get in there and do that music thing. I've been wanting to fucking do it, but now I'll have some downtime to actually fuck around and find out.
I'm gonna leave. So last episode, you suggested the bird song,
Yeah.
and I created that, and I hop around. I also am like a bird, like a hummingbird. I'm, constantly flying around to different interests and things. So I haven't been in there. I know people have contributed to it, but I had been doing it for just a week. But the bird one's too good of a theme to not give it some attention. So yeah, we'll get in there. We can get in there and bird it up and make some good owl hoots. Oh, owl hoots would be good.
That makes sense.
That's a bird noise. Some tweets, chirps, caws, crows, screeches. Screech owl. There's a screech owl. That's a bird.
Yeah.
And we're getting off track. It's getting too birdie at the top. No, the numbers say nobody likes it when we get too birdie at the top.
Yeah.
So anyways.
Where they start to dip.
Yeah.
They go from 6 to 4 listeners real quick.
It's just like, okay, well, I'll just turn it off. And then my mom's like, well, I'll leave it running. I'm not going to be in the room with it. I'm just going to let it go. Anyways, we are Mark, Steven, and Jeff. Always Our Comedy on YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, Patreon, all the places. This is our podcast where we talk about what we've been doing, what we like, who we are, all that kind of stuff. Just background info about us. Yes. And all of it is true, 100% true.
Mm-hmm.
We've taken an oath that we can't lie on the podcast. So that's...
Okay. Did I miss that episode? Was I not there?
It was in the contract. It was when you signed up. It was in the contract.
Oh, yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
Well, guys, real quick, you want to do a word? Do you guys remember what the word game, the new word game that we're doing? Word etymologies.
Yes, the etymology or entomology. Need a word. Which one is it?
Entomology, I think, is the study of Entenmann's cakes and desserts.
Yes.
I think it's the history, the origins of words, how they came to be. I've got a good one.
Okay.
An interesting one.
Okay.
I need you guys to give me, the word dunce?
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
How did the word dunce come to be? Where is it from?
Oh, yeah.
It's like the old school films where you would see the kid in the corner with the dunce hat on.
That big punished. Cone.
Yeah, the cone hat. Dunce. Jeez.
This came from Denmark. And they would... And what happened was... Are we supposed to say what happened, right? How did it come to be?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe I do appreciate the country. I don't think we need to, and we're still developing this one as we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe not so much the country. The country isn't so important, but yeah, just how the word, where it came from.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it was basically the dickhead of
the glands, yes,
of the group where if someone was being a dickhead, they would be like, this fucking dickhead, and then they were like, well, don't say dickhead, and they're like, dunce, and they're like, okay, and then they threw a dick-like shaped hat on their head and put them in the corner. So if you're acting a fool, if you're being stupid, you were a dunce, and then they would throw you in the corner, and they'd set you as an example, almost like a town square type of thing. An example of, look at this fucking dickhead out here in the corner, with his fucking dick on his head.
I get it.
Okay, he's a dickhead.
Great guess.
Yeah,
we were
terrific
told not
guess.
to lie on the podcast. here I am lying immediately. Dunce is actually a German word. It's the German word for don't. Don't do that. Like you're being punished.
Oh.
Here. Now and then it evolved into being a dunce. So
like this is how not to be. There's still like kind of like the example and Mark's example, like setting like this is a dumb person. Don't be okay. All right. I like that.
Don't be this person. This person broke the rules. They're the dunce. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Terrific guesses, both of you. I
thank you.
I enjoyed
only
both
guesses
of those.
I have.
Oh, this is true. This is true.
This is true. The true history is actually pretty interesting. The dunce comes from a man named Duns Scotus.
Oh boy.
Excuse me, John Duns Scotus, who was born around 1266 and died in 1308. Scotus was a Scottish Franciscan philosopher and theologian whose works on metaphysics, theology, grammar, and logic were so popular, they earned him the honor of a papal accolade. His followers became known as Duns, D-U-N-S. Well, time went on, ideas changed, information changed, and then the Protestants and humanist scholars came along and discredited all the stuff that he did, that he said that all these people followed and liked.
Wow, and so then, you can discredit people for following a thing, huh?
Yeah, they said like all of the stuff that you discovered, that you found out, it's no good. It's dumb. This is not the way to do it. And then so he still had those followers. And so those were dunces. And like they said, these are stupid ideas. You're following stupid ideas. You're stupid. You're a dunce. Dunce.
Wow. Okay.
Interesting. Okay.
I thought that one actually was a pretty interesting one.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
It says the word gradually became used in a more general sense to refer to someone considered slow-witted.
Okay. And this was 12 to 1300. Do you think there are still duns out there?
There might be. I don't know. I mean, I kind of want to look into it. I might be a dunce.
There's probably like one. Right?
It's got to be at least one. How many billions of people are there in the world? There's got to be one.
Well, let's go back to his teachings and find out what his tots were. And then if we agree with them, then we're dunces.
I'll gladly be a dunce if it's something I agree with.
Yeah. Tots is something. It's when you teach your own thoughts, basically. It's not a bad word.
It's not a bad word, and that's. I mean, that's interesting because it's word etymology happening in real time. We just saw that word come to life.
Yeah.
Wow. This is interesting.
On this podcast, you get smarter and dumber at the same time.
Pull your brains in both directions.
Well, Mark, do you want to tell everybody where you've been?
Where I've been? Yes, I have been. I just got back from Disney World, everybody.
Oh, my.
And I'm wearing the shirt. Peyton picked this out. She said, "Daddy, you should have this shirt." And I said, "You're right. This is the best shirt I've ever seen." So I got it. And boy, what a trip. It was, went down with the in-laws, just the grandparents, in-laws, and it was me and the wife and 2 kids. And it was so much fun. It was, I mean, we were out the whole time. It was magical. The kids are fucking meeting the characters. They're blown away. Like, that is, like, them. I hate to, I know, like, we can sit here and make fun of Disney all day, but man, they really just do nail it for the kids. Where it's just like, this is perfect. It does it, and it feels like its own world. It does feel like its own world when you're like going from park to park, like Magic Kingdom and Epcot and going back and forth. And it's like, I don't know. I didn't think about one problem I had, and neither did, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like all like, this is, I mean, this fucking Goofy walking around, you know, making waffles and slipping around. And then there's, you know, all
Goofy's
these
making waffles.
Yeah. Well, we had breakfast with Mickey. No big deal. Yeah.
The Mickey.
Yeah. So we had,
Fuck.
Yeah. It's hard. It's hard to really think about anything.
Did you wear your "This Family Fucks" shirt?
So that was another thought I had. Like, there was no one wearing like anything that was like an awful shirt or like you know, I mean, there wasn't like any like
no Big Johnson t-shirts.
Yeah, no Big Johnson t-shirts or the South will rise again type of shit. You know, it's just like, okay, whoa, you know, where so like everyone's wearing, and I went all in, dude. I have these Disney socks with like Monsters Inc. and shit. I pulled them up to my fucking knees. I'm walking around. Dana's got a fanny pack. I got my shirt tucked in. I'm fucking. I went 100% dad mode.
I think tall socks are in Florida though. I feel like that's. Mm-hmm. I think that's how they do it down there. It's weird.
Yeah. So
I guess Disney over the years has nailed it. I mean, I think they own everything now. So
that's right. That's why
they've got the research to figure out how to nail it. Right?
Exactly. Yeah. And I'm so glad you brought them up because this video is sponsored by.
Oh God.
Yeah. But yeah.
What did you say, Goofy? Did you say Goofy was slipping around?
Yeah, no, Goofy's walking around. They, you know, he's in, and they had everything set up for Halloween too. And they had a trick or treat Halloween theme, so the park would close at 6 p.m. and then you needed a special like ticket for trick or treating, and they set up a bunch of things, and the kids could go to different posts and just get, candy getting thrown in their bags, and there's dance parties happening and all this sort of stuff. So it was pretty cool. They like transformed it. Favorite ride of my 4-year-old? Anyone want to take a guess?
How the hotel that drops the elevator?
We did take her on that. She fucking hated it, and I can't even believe Dana honestly took her on that. Like I went on it too.
I said that as a joke.
Yeah, I was like, this is a bit much, and she hated it. And I was like, why would you? I looked at Dana after. I was like, why would you do that? And she's like, I didn't. Just to make her feel extra bad. Haunted Mansion though. Haunted Mansion was her favorite, where there's like it's like a ride where you just sit in, you know, on a conveyor belt and it turns you around to all these like 3D effects, and it's got like a real like books coming out, you know, and ladders are moving and paintings are looking at you or whatever. And we went on it, I don't know, 6-7 times. I mean, she was just all in on that one, but I felt bad when we were going down because it's their first time on a plane too. Well, she was 1 the first time she ever went, but she didn't remember obviously. But they were sick before the trip, a couple days before, and we got on the plane, and we're in the air. We're about 30 minutes into the trip, and she's just like uncontrollably, like she's starting to cry. She's like, I'm trying to teach her how to pop her ears, and she can't get that. Yeah. She doesn't understand that or whatever. And she's like, to the point where like she's crying so much, she just passes out in my lap. Like she's just like slumped over and like passes. I'm like, well, that's kind of good.
Yeah.
But then later, the next day, the 2 days later, she's like, I want to go to the doctor. Like woke up and was like, I'm like, oh, like a kid wants to go to the doctor. We're at Disney World, and she had an ear infection, and I guess the plane with the pressure and the cold, like being congested, like the plane had like caused the ear infection.
Holy
I know it
shit!
doesn't happen that rapidly, but like it was like the pressure was so much on her ear, and then on the way back it was fine. Like she was like, "Oh, this is fine." So we had it taken care of. But like, fuck, I felt so bad to be like, what the fuck is going on here? You have no idea because they don't know. But
Dude, so what, the doctors at Disney cured it, or did you
yeah, magically they just fucking put a wand on there and rubbed it around. Fuck. But yeah, I had a couple of things.
Was it Dr. Goofy?
Yeah. Yeah, Goofy.
I'm still amazed at like what. How does Disney stay relevant with their Mickey Mouse character and Goofy? What movies have they been in lately? You know?
Yeah. Well, so I said this about Looney Tunes not too long ago.
How are kids gonna know who they are? Yeah.
With the second Space Jam, I was like, what the fuck? This is crazy. Only people our age, I mean, not our age, but like way older, but know who they are. Like, it's so weird to like have that movie, but they've rebooted, Mickey Mouse Club and all this other shit to keep those characters like relevant. They keep rebooting it, so, and have different shows. So, okay. But this was I had a couple not interesting thoughts, but there was something that happened. So we stayed in the resort, the yacht club, and on my in-laws splurged, and there's this little part where it's like on the 5th floor, there's like a little area that's like all inclusive type of stuff. So it's like literally anytime you're hungry or whatever, you can pop into this little area that's got like 20 tables, and they always have food laid out, breakfast, lunch, dinner.
Oh, it's like a cruise ship, but stationary.
Exactly. Yeah. Which is awesome and then snacks in between, desserts and alcohol at night. So it's really nice. But I was getting breakfast one day, and I got both girls, and I got them settled, and I'm near the toaster, and this woman puts her bagel or whatever in the toaster, and it's done, and there's these two, and I'm like watching the kids, and I'm just kind of seeing what else is going on because I'm waiting for my wife to come in at any moment. So I'm kind of watching the door, and there's two people behind this lady waiting to also use the toaster, and she all of a sudden I hear this no, and I look over, and this woman that's near the toaster gotta be no less than 50. So I would say 50, early 50s. She has a metal fork trying to get a bagel out of the toaster, like close.
Jeez.
And she goes, whoa, what? And the two ladies behind her go, don't put a metal object in the toaster. And she goes, oh, why? Oh, why? And they go, because you can get electrocuted. And she goes, oh my God. Oh, wow. Thank you guys. Thank you so much. I can't believe I almost did that. And then like got it out a different way. And I was like, how the fuck are you here? And thank God they were there, because if it were me, I'd be like, no. You got to use a knife. You got to really get in there. You got to dig around. But just the fact that someone like that old can be like, what? Like, I don't understand how you made it to today with are you Mrs. Magoo? Are you just walking by and just like razor blades or
pianos are one step behind her, falling out of buildings and
right. Yeah.
What the fuck? Yeah. Like that's so all the old people that I know and see online, they're very intelligent. Like they're not complete fucking idiots who have lost touch with reality. That's weird.
Right. But yeah, I'm assuming this isn't your first toaster encounter.
Right. Yeah. No. Toaster is totally like a thing that everyone.
Yeah. You know not to use a toaster like that.
Yeah. I guess, man, or maybe the people that were supposed to tell her about that died early in a toaster accident or something, and they weren't around to tell her.
Yeah.
It was because of the toaster that they passed, and now just history repeating itself.
Wow.
Yeah, okay. A vicious toaster cycle. What question? Did the toaster toast like a little Mickey logo onto the bread?
I don't think so.
That's a missed opportunity. Disney, you can use that one. That's free. That's on me.
Mm-hmm.
Get a toaster that does like just a little Mickey head on the side of the toast. That's fun for the kids.
Yeah, that's a good. Okay, yeah.
It's fun for the adults. I'd like Mickey toast.
Hey, Big D, throw us a bone.
Yeah, come on.
We're throwing you bones. Give us one. Now I do have something that I noticed that was a little. I don't want to make fun of it, but I kind of do. Okay, so we wait in line to see the characters, obviously for the kids. There's princesses. There's
you don't have to say for the kids. We know.
Okay.
Mark, we know that it wasn't you and Dana waiting there in line like, ooh.
They came up. I had the kids give me the autograph book, and I was like, "Oh, good, I'm gonna sign it." I was like, "Make it out to me."
She's nervous. Make it out, Mark. Thanks.
Her name is Mark. But we go in line to meet the characters and stuff, and obviously the kids are super excited to meet the characters and princesses, and then also you have adults that are just adults that are with no kids waiting 30 minutes to meet Olaf, a person in a suit, to get their picture taken. Now, I am still saying that's okay. If you want to wait in line to get your picture taken with Rapunzel or Snow White, great. Okay? But multiple times I have seen just adults wait in line to talk to another adult dressed up as a character and then ask them and say, I love in the movie, or I love that you have this, or like, for instance, one that I saw was they waited for Rapunzel and they're like, and the adults that waited were like, so Rapunzel, how's Pascal? Pascal was a little iguana. Is it iguana? Yeah, it's like a fucking lizard, whatever, iguana thing, character.
Snake with legs.
And then Rapunzel would be like, oh, Pascal, he's always getting... By the way, the characters are fucking killer.
Yeah,
they are spot on. Their autographs, fucking amazing. But I'm witnessing two adults have a fake conversation and about Fantasyland that that person is not that person, but they're responding, and you're asking them questions, and then they're giving you literal bullshit to appease your fucking fantasy or whatever. And I want to just go, excuse me, what the fuck are we doing here? What are you guys doing here? Both of you. I understand this is for most of the kids, and then they talk about they met Anna and Elsa from Frozen, and they talked about the town, and like, oh, maybe you could join me one day, and we could go on the lake, and I could freeze it. And it's like, oh, the kids are like, oh my god, this is fucking crazy. But when you're talking to an adult who knows that you don't possess powers, and then still believes and still talks about it and talk about what you guys could do to get like, hey, stop.
Yeah. It's the Disney adult thing is interesting. I don't know. I don't want to. Where do you draw the line?
Yeah, because you're right. Because I still, if you want to wait an hour and a half to get a picture taken with a Princess Tiana, because that's your favorite princess or whatever, go for it.
That makes you happy. That brings joy to your life.
Yes.
But then it's also like, okay, like what are the real problem? Like there's problems somewhere. What are you avoiding? Like what are I get escapism. I understand wanting to like there's some big deep problems. I think or am I jealous of their like suspension of disbelief or like their ability to detach themselves from reality?
Me too. Yeah. That's a good point. But I just think everything is fine up until the part where you guys are both having a fake conversation.
Right. That when the rubber hits the road, that's yeah. Like
what it's the person that's trained to be a character, Rapunzel. Let's say, since
That's
I know
amazing.
Who that is.
Yes,
I know
that
who
actor,
that is. I don't know who the fuck anyone else is we've talked about so far.
Sure, yeah, it's okay.
Rapunzel, like, are you allowed to just talk to them about whatever, or does it have to be about the thing they're in? You know what I mean? Like, they're trained to answer you, right, or interact with you?
They are in character 100% of the time.
Okay, so if I were to go up to Rapunzel and say, "So, what do you think about this whole Russia-Ukraine situation?"
Right.
The character Rapunzel has to answer me, not the person. Like, clearly, this is off-topic conversation. I'm asking another adult their opinion. No, they, as the character, have to answer you.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
She'd be like, "Well, I've never been to Russia," and I'm like, "Okay, you're dodging. You're dodging the question."
or whatever world Rapunzel's from.
Exist.
Like, in the Everwood Forest, I've never heard of that. I've been to
Okay.
Bubble Land or whatever. I don't know Rapunzel clearly.
I don't know
either. Those people, those actors that is super impressive. Like
100%.
They probably go through weeks of like lore training. Like, they probably know their characters and their stories and the worlds that they exist in, inside and out, upside down, because they do get these people that are obsessed with this stuff, and I don't mean that in a derogatory way.
No, yeah, of course.
Like, they're gonna get those questions, and they have to know Disney as a company isn't gonna allow somebody to go away unhappy.
Yeah,
it's crazy to think like just the whole what do they call those people? They're not the Imagineers. They're like the cast members or whatever.
Yeah.
One of my favorite podcasters, improvisers, people in the whole world, Matt Gorley, was an actor at Disney out in California. And I don't remember if he was an actor or an employee, but I believe his wife was also, and she's an actress and a podcaster, entertainer. And I believe they're starting a podcast about that like behind the scenes Disney experience, like what they went through.
Yeah.
And like what they have to do and all that kind of stuff, which I think is, whenever it comes out, I really, really want to listen to it. Or if it is out, I want to listen to it. 'Cause like, God, the stories, the people that they must meet, like asking them questions.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
Yeah. So yeah, that was the one part that the whole trip where I was like, get the fuck out of here with that one thing. There was one part that I did find funny though. It was like, even all the waiters or waitresses and all the people who take care of like everything in that little area that I was telling you about, like they're fucking turned up to 11, where they're just like, oh, good morning. Hi. Oh, hi, princesses. How did you sleep? Things like that. And they are on from the moment you see them. Like, you cannot catch them doing something, but you forget that, hey, we're all, like I was saying, like, I didn't think about my problems. We're all people. We all have problems. We all have,
right.
Everyone's going through shit. But there's a moment where I see one lady leaving the back room or whatever. And she could just, she's talking to the people that in the room that she's leaving, and she's like, yeah, well, tell him he can work a double because I did. Hi, princess. Just total switch. As soon as she saw like the kids, just like, and I was like, okay, there it is.
There it is. There's the human.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. But yeah.
Deal with this fucking shit.
No, not a lot of people know this, but my wife is a Disney freak, Disney fanatic. So we went as adults a couple of times without children, and because the in-laws would take us because we just had our nephew, but it was like there's a point where like we would go to Disney and like Universal and then Disney, like, and it would alternate every year for like a couple of years, and I was like, hey, I want to spend like vacation days doing other shit. Like I kind of had to have a talk, but with kids, it's great. It's amazing, and I would take them back. I'd go as often as possible, as long as they want to go. So anyway, that's Disney. That was pretty much it. I wanted to just keep it short and sweet.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah.
Wow. Glad you guys got to do that.
Yeah, it's fun.
I haven't. I went. I think I've only been once, and I saw Mickey take his head off.
Oh no!
Yeah, and it was another Mickey head underneath.
Oh wow!
And it just blew my mind. So I haven't. It's been weird for me ever since. I don't know what to think about it.
Okay,
but maybe someday I'll be brave enough to go back.
Oh yeah. Oh, one thing I did think that was weird too is like we ate at a restaurant. I think it was like the Tropical Cafe or something, and you go in and it is prehistoric themed out. I mean, every little there's animatronic dinosaurs growling and moving around. There's woolly mammoths. There's all this, fucking birds and shit going on, and you're eating dinner. And you're seeing that, and they have it like it looks really good. Like it's not just like, oh, it's a goofy dinosaur with like round teeth or whatever. It's like it looks like a real dinosaur. It doesn't look like a cartoon shit. And every 20 minutes in this restaurant, they have a meteor shower where like a bunch of asteroids come across the sky.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And all the dinosaurs start to move around and they're a lot more active than normal. And I just thought that was a very interesting point of something like, hey, let's show these kids the dinosaurs and every 20 minutes, let's remind everyone how they died.
Yeah.
Let's have all these asteroids come over and all these dinosaurs panic and show, look, I know these are great and everything, but let's not remember the horrific death that they experienced.
Right. Like,
wow. Okay.
I can't think of any polite.
Yeah, there's none.
Other, things that's like.
Yeah,
Every 20 minutes. So someone arriving at any given time is going to experience it at least once.
Yeah, we were eating dinner, and it was, I think we'd seen it like 3 times. I was like, I get it. Okay. Unless
you're the dipshit with the knife in the toaster and you also go extinct before the meteor shower happens. You off yourself in the toaster and then you miss this meteor shower.
Wow.
I'm also a little disappointed that my arms aren't 3 times as big as they were before I left, because I was carrying a child, at least one child, possibly 2, definitely 1, sometimes 2, for 95% of the time we were in the parks. The only time I would rest was either if I could get him in a stroller to pass out, which sometimes that was an option. I would be carrying one and one of them would be asleep, or lunch. Like that was it. But like 95% of the time, from the moment we entered, even before then, they would want to be carried. So anyway, I'm a little pissed I'm not fucking jacked.
Surely they return the favor, at least at some point, right?
With love, yeah. They love me. They wanted to be around me. And
nobody carried you or pushed you in like a cart or anything?
No. They carried me emotionally.
I don't like that.
Okay. You don't like
that? I don't. I'll deal with that on my own, I guess.
I'll let them know.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, like, not like mad, but just disappointed.
Yeah. My dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you track any steps or anything? I always think it's fascinating, like how much people walk when
That's
they go to
another
these
thing.
places.
Fucking when you're waiting in line for a ride, people are pulling out their phone. They're looking at their steps. People are talking about steps because everyone's like, "This is the most anyone's ever walked in their life."
My feet are bleeding.
Ours weren't crazy. I feel like, we probably averaged like 16,000 steps, which isn't crazy when like the typical is like 10,000. I think me and Dana went to Boston. I think we had, obviously before kids, and we took a trip to Boston, and it was like we had 30 some odd thousand, like 31,000. So I know we're taking a lot of small steps. I wish it would have fucking counted how much extra weight I was carrying. My hips, I don't want to sound old because I'm only, in my early 20s, but I didn't want to. My hips were fucked because you don't think about, I should have trained for what was happening with my children, because I would have started doing a routine where I carry 35 pounds in one arm and then 30 or like 40 in one arm and then 25 in the other, and then have to switch them every 3 or 4 minutes.
Go heavier than they are, so that when you do have to carry them, like, oh, these guys are nothing.
Yeah. I'm gonna start a different training program.
Yeah, carrying kids.
Mm-hmm.
Take back that dad bod thing. Like, do like Jack dad bod.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we all get to go. Do they have shows? Can we do a show at Disney at some point in the future?
I think so. I think we just got to take the shit and come out, and I think we'll be okay.
Oh, well, there goes that. Oh, well.
Yeah, I guess we could be in the alleys at Disney or something.
Yeah.
Think of something.
Yes. I don't want to. Well, no. If I say something, it'll get pulled and flagged and all that sort of stuff. You can cut this out, but there's a conspiracy. Maybe get the conspiracy boys back on and talk about Disney, but not a conspiracy. But apparently they'll. There's a rumor flying around that they'll sacrifice someone on a ride before every ride is opened.
Huh.
Oh, before a new ride opens.
Yeah, before a new ride opens, like they.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I believe it.
They just send like a dead body flying around on a roller coaster.
Yeah, I think that's actually a good thing, because then they won't. No one who's living will get injured. They stick it instead of a dummy. Like, they could just pay for a dummy, but like, no, we want a real dead person.
It's gotta be skin.
It's got to be skin. Yeah. What are we gonna do? Put a couple of pigs in there? No, you can't. You can't cram them down with the safety bar.
It's not the right with weight displacement.
Right.
Distribution. Come on.
Pigs
gotta do the real thing. They don't cut corners at Disney.
I kind of want to look into this now. Wow.
I believe it.
Yeah.
Well,
I believe it. I'm sold. Well, speaking of doing shows, I went out. I went and did a thing. Not nearly as exciting as Disney, but I went and saw Jim Jeffries.
Oh shit! Where was he?
He was at Deepak.
Okay.
Great show. Great show. I enjoy. I think he's very funny. Honestly, though, the pokey that I had before the show, and I don't mean that in any way to say that like he didn't put on a great show. It was a great show. I just fucking love pokey so much, and I haven't had it in so long. That might have been my favorite part of the night.
Wow. Was it somewhere nearby?
Yeah, it was like one street over from Deepak.
Okay.
Like we walked. We got there early. Missed traffic, had pokey, whatever, and then walked over and it was kind of nice. We got there because we were trying to miss like 5 o'clock traffic, so we got there like an hour early.
Yeah, awesome.
But I'd rather do that than spend an hour in traffic.
Yeah, for sure.
And it was nice, like sitting in the theater just for ever. And watching everybody filter in.
Yeah. Oh, you sat in early. Like you were
early.
Okay.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you meant you just went downtown to eat dinner, walk around a little bit, but you were the first ones in the theater.
Just about.
Wow.
Jim Jeffries is great.
He may not have even landed at RDU by the time
when you got there.
We got there.
Wow. That's funny.
Yeah, he had a great show. It was interesting. He had an Australian guy. He had two guys open for him. They were both great. I think they were from his podcast, which it sounds like he has a interesting podcast. I think kind of like does what we would like to do. Like I think he has, like they give him a quiz on a subject at the beginning of the show, and then they teach him a bunch of stuff. Like they have an expert on there. Like one of the things was about pizza or something. And then at the end of the show, I think he takes the quiz again, like to see how much he's learned about the subject. Or whatever.
Interesting.
So, yeah, I thought it was kind of a cool idea. But it was weird because it was on the day that the Queen died. So they, being Australians, were, had some ties to the Queen. I guess I always forget that there's that link there.
What?
Yeah.
I don't know if you have time, but there's a link.
I guess it was a former British colony.
Oh well, so were we, right?
Well, we left on bad terms, though.
Right. Okay. Well, how'd they leave?
I don't know. I have no fucking clue.
All we know is something went down somewhere.
Yeah.
Were they just okay? So we kind of rebelled and we were like, "Fuck you," and started shooting at them. Which we haven't really changed much. And then Australia was kind of like, "Hey, is it cool if like we kind of just do our own thing?" And they were like, "Yeah, I wish the Americans would have just done it like that too."
It's too far away. It's too far away.
Yeah, it costs us so much to come down here.
The gas, the wind,
the boats, the whole. Yeah, we know it's a thing.
Okay, so, I didn't know that they had anything to do with each other.
Yeah, I had forgotten they did either. So it was interesting hearing them. They did some stuff about the Queen, and I don't know the whole Queen stuff. I don't know anything about it. Like I don't talk. Like, was she good? Was she bad? Like, is the whole thing, like that whole system, good or bad? Like, she was just a person and she died. So, like, I guess not nice to joke about that. But like, then who knows? It's confusing. People.
Yeah, I think we talked about this for a little bit where I was talking to Dana and I was like, well, yeah, now they can like, again, I don't know what I'm talking about, so please don't get offended or anything. But I was like, what does a queen do? And she was like, she like, I was like, well, who's going to call the shots now? She's like, well, the queen doesn't, make the rules or anything. Like, it's like a whole other system. And I was like, well, what does a queen do? Like, what's her deal? And I was like, is it the mascot of, it's the Mickey Mouse of,
I think so.
Okay.
What an interesting parallel you've just drawn. I mean,
every time we do a podcast, shit circles around. We stay on theme for some reason. It's wild.
Yeah. Let's go with what you just experienced and learned, and be like, so something like that,
So the Queen is Minnie, and then I guess Boris Johnson, up until he got kicked out recently, was Walt Disney.
Oh, okay.
He was running the business.
Okay,
maybe.
Go.
I don't know. I don't know.
That's good. Yeah.
And now I know it's not Boris Johnson anymore. It's Tress. Somebody. It's somebody else. I there's so much to keep up with. And
dude,
I
legit thought that you saying that, I was like, oh, he changed his name.
He doesn't go by Boris anymore.
I'm just change my name. Fucking no.
He changed it to Jose Canseco, which was weird because there already is the one. Jose, I don't know. I didn't understand it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's very confusing.
Why do I get to talk into a microphone?
The worst part of the night, though, I had to go to the bathroom during the show, and he did at least an hour and a half. I think I think he's getting ready for a special, or I think he has a special, or an hour. So I think he did a lot of extra like working out new stuff because the end. There was some stuff that wasn't as strong as others.
Yeah.
It didn't quite seem fully baked as some of the other stuff. So I think he was, working stuff out, which I think is cool, is neat to see. Like I'd rather see a longer show and see now it'll be fun. Like if he ever does do the special, I can watch and see like what he left out and what,
right.
How things change.
So that's the thing that I forgot. When you do a special is you need to have other jokes in your back pocket. You don't fucking blow your whole load and then go. And then people are like, yeah, where can I see you? I'm like, you just did.
That's it.
That's it. Well, you saw everything. Like people now I've had some people be like, hey, yeah, where you going? I'm like, someone said, where are you going on? You should go on tour. I'm like, with what? Now I'm at a place where no one knows me and I can do that same fucking thing somewhere and no one's going to care.
Right.
So, but I mean, someone at his level, after they throw an hour special, hour 15 or whatever, they like to have 20 to 30 in their back pocket where it's just like, these are already worked out, but I need an extra 30. And then they spend their tour tweaking shit. So, God, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
But he performed an hour and a half.
It was. I think I wasn't timing it or anything, but it was a good long show.
Yeah, but he's working on extra stuff too. I mean, all he does is his bits are about fucking cocaine and hookers, like that. Was that just his extra 30 minutes? Is more of that? Like,
it was interesting because he's married and he has another kid now, and I believe he's sober.
Okay,
or at least not drinking. I don't know. It was interesting, but it was also interesting. Speaking of cocaine, there was a heckler.
Oh boy.
I guess not a heckler. It was just an asshole. Very, very quickly into him getting on stage, some guy from the balcony just yells out, "Where's the cocaine?"
Okay.
That was it.
Okay.
And like, I don't know. I'll never understand the mindset of show goers or people that they feel, I guess they have no they just think that their shit, like, it's gonna be great, or they are not worried about what the reaction is. They just need to add.
Yeah.
It's bizarre, but yeah, it was weird. But the only part that I didn't enjoy is I did have to go to the bathroom. And we were fairly far down there, and God bless her, my wife does an amazing job of anytime we go anywhere, she gets me an aisle seat.
Oh, wow.
Everywhere. I don't know how she does it. It's fucking amazing. So I can always stick my legs out. I don't have to fold up like a asshole pretzel. But I had to pee, and I had to go up a lot of stairs. And just the thought of everybody, and like they were those stairs. They were.
Sorry, I hit the wrong fucking button.
Turn off the video.
Not the audio.
Keep it
I'm leaving that in.
You gotta keep that in. People, If you're watching on YouTube, it makes a lot more
You
sense. It is
muted the
way
video
funnier.
and
Yeah.
not the audio for your cough. Wow, that's great.
They were odd length stairs. Like they were not very high. They were very short, but they were long.
Oh yeah.
So like you couldn't like really. And I just like,
Okay,
oh my
yeah, I hate
god,
those
I
stairs,
just look
yeah.
like some fucking dork going up. I was like, God, people are seeing me walk up these stairs. I was like, God, please look away. Like, it's just so
Like-
many people.
Like
You're
what's the
self-conscious
fucking
of it.
the Beast game? What is it?
Gang beasts?
Gang Beast. Yeah, you're walking
Yeah.
upstairs like a gang beast. Yeah.
Just
So you were self-conscious about walking upstairs.
just
in
people
front of everybody?
yeah, I was like, don't, please. I swear to God, I would think I'd be more okay with going on stage in front of that whole audience and just standing still than my fucking body moving around or like trying to. I don't know what it is. I know it's not normal or good to think that way, but I was like, I was like, I'll just hold it. Maybe I'll just go sit back down.
Damn. But I know what you're talking about because the stairs are not high
so
and they're
you-
long, so you're doing these little shuffle steps up, and it feels
It's
unnatural.
Step and walk.
Yeah, and like you can't ever. They were at a weird pace or distance where like you couldn't, like you could take one step and then you had to bring the other foot up, and like you couldn't, or I could take like the really long steps and just.
Yeah.
There was no win. There was no win there. It was.
So
It was.
you decided to not walk up the stairs and sit back down. is what
No.
you're saying.
I went to the back. I dealt with it. It would be funnier to say that I just turned around and sat back down, but no, I went to the bathroom, and
Okay.
I can't lie on the podcast.
Yep, that's the oath.
Okay.
But great show otherwise.
Okay. All right.
Oh, also, guys, speaking of great show, I have a confession to everyone listening. You guys already know, but I have found a new great show, and we're going to get a lot of heat for this because of comments we've made previously on the podcast. I like a Japanese cartoon.
Ooh. Whoa. Hey, what?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay.
All right.
I like a Japanese cartoon. I've watched one. We watched one and we talked about it for a bonus episode of the podcast that's coming out with Trent Title, who is a connoisseur of the anime, the Japanese cartoons.
That's right. Get this, everybody. Title from the videos is in a bonus podcast. That's right.
He's in the bonus podcast, so everybody on Patreon or subscribed on Twitch, that is available to you. But we watched the first episode of My Hero Academia, and God, I don't even want to get into the controversy of how you pronounce the name. That makes my blood boil.
I think you're right. Yeah.
But it's great, and we haven't even made it to Tape Elbows Man.
It's a show about people that have superpowers. That's what the show's about. Like 80% of the population has superpowers.
Wow.
And Trent said, "Oh well, wait. You just wait. Later on, you'll see some odd ones." Tape Elbows Man.
We think you'd come up with a better name.
Well, I have no idea. This is my first attempt at the show too, so we'll see what happens.
I'm going to keep watching it because I'm hooked. The cliffhanger at the end of episode 1 is amazing. I hope that we continue making bonus episodes, and I believe Mark is gonna catch up with us, and we'll get all of us on there.
Yeah, so think about, for this bonus episode, you've got Trent, who's the anime expert,
Yes,
talking to a bunch of us that are the exact opposite, non-experts. And it was great to hear his explanations.
Yes.
Some things. But we're going to be doing that. We'll be doing a regular kind of like walkthrough of this thing because he specifically picked this show for us. He wants us to see this.
Yeah.
So.
It was It was like I loved that I had like questions about stuff that I thought was ridiculous, and then he had actual answers as to why this shit was the way it was. So check out that, or hang around for that. Hang around for, I don't know. Find it, listen to it if you want. I don't know.
If you had a weird superpower, what would it be? To go upstairs better?
My superpower would be to turn every set of stairs into a nice gradual ramp.
Okay.
No steps, just a smooth incline that you can go up or down with plenty of traction, no slips or falls.
Oh,
I don't remember what movie that's in, but there's some movie where a set of stairs turns into a slide, and I remember seeing it as a kid. It may have been. Was it?
My God, what is that?
You know what I'm talking. I know that you.
Blank check.
Richie Blank, was it Blank Check or Richie Rich?
It's one of those rich kid movies where they're sliding down stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, what the hell?
But I remember seeing that as a kid, and I was like, this has to be in my future somewhere. I don't know how I make this happen, but I need this to be in my life.
Wow.
Mark, do we have some stuff on Instagram?
Yeah, we do have some stuff on Instagram. But before we dive into that, no, maybe I'll save what I can say what I did for the show another time. But we do have. Let me let's look at some shit here.
Oh my God, he's just holding up. He's scrolling through it. He's just showing pictures of BMs. It's literal shit. Mark, nobody wants to see that. This is gross.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Oh my God.
God, if you could just give me a second or two.
We don't like this.
We have a question on Instagram, from Ryan. Pod question. If y'all were UFC fighters, what song are you coming out to the octagon to? Also, what would your fighter nickname be? So, yeah. It's a good question.
Oh,
I've had some time because I looked at this and so I'll go ahead and answer. Man, dude, if I'm being, of course I want to do the funny thing where it's like, oh, come out to fucking circus music, and they're like, this guy's out of his mind, like try to like a scare tactic.
Yeah.
I mean, just the fact that they like, you go and I come out just wiggling around. Like, that's kind of scary, where you're like, this guy's a little insane because someone else just came out to something really pumped up.
And your name is like the IT clown, and people are like, oh, he's making himself the it clown. No, the IT clown, the tech clown.
The tech clown. Because I'm very technical with my fighting, but I'm also a clown.
Oh, yeah. I can sort out why your email isn't going to your inbox.
Yeah.
But what was your real answer then?
Yeah, that was a funny. But I think my real one would be the Michael Myers theme.
Ding ding
Ding ding ding ding ding ding ding ding. So it's like it's fucking over. You're dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Horror music.
Yeah.
Does anybody come up to horror music? I haven't.
I don't know. And I used to follow that a lot more than I do, but yeah, and I think my name would be Squishy. So it'd be this juxtaposition of like, oh my God, who's this fucking guy? And then you come out and it's like, it's Squishy, and you're like, oh, okay, well, it doesn't sound that bad. I feel like it does have to be like, they always have like the warrior or like the assassin.
Tatanka.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think I didn't get into the name. I was just so pumped with my answer on the Mike Myers theme that I think my name would be You know what's making me laugh is that did you guys ever see Guardians of the Galaxy 2? Swear to God, saw that movie and I was like, this might be one of the funniest movies I've seen.
Really?
For that. Like it is, as far as like a comedy, like I know it's not built for comedy or whatever, but like, goddamn, like there are some crucially funny moments. Like, especially when people aren't releasing comedies. Like, when's the last good comedy that came out? Like, I don't know. I mean, that was like a blockbuster or whatever. But yeah, it is insane funny. And one of the guys calls himself Taserface, and then Rocket from Guardian, the little raccoon, is like laughing. He's like, "That's your name you picked, Taserface," and everyone else like behind Taserface, like his own clan, is like starting to giggle and laugh. Like they're on the raccoon side. Yeah, the fucking name. I don't know, man. Probably, dude. Whatever. Jason. That way you mix the two up. They're like, wait a minute. He's coming out to Mike Myers music and his nickname's Jason. Why don't you just be Michael Myers or Mike?
I was trying to figure out how to get Freddy in there too. But...
Mike, yeah. That's good. I would admit, yeah, I'd pick probably the douchiest name possible. Like,
yeah.
I would just be like, Mike Hunt. You know,
okay.
Yeah. And I wouldn't have any music at all. You know, just so the first
silence.
Guy, yeah. The first guy walks out there. He's got metal blasting. He's raising his hands, trying to get the crowd pumped up, putting his hands in the air. Fireworks are going off, and then they have the camera to my corner, and I just walk out.
To silence
everybody, Mike Hunt.
You hear people go.
It's just, exactly.
Just dressed up like whatever the most average person in the world is.
Yeah.
Just,
I'd be the anti-showman. Yeah.
Just pull the wind out of the entire arena as soon as you're coming out there. You're the cooler.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah, wow, we have a theme, and it's all trying to get into the opponent's head. I think I would go with the broom groom, and I would just have a broom that I have made up. I would, of course, be in a tuxedo. I would have a broom,
of course,
made up to look like my bride. I come out to the wedding song, and then, of course, every time the ref has to give us, has to perform the wedding ceremony when I enter the ring. And then I put my wife Broom in the corner, and of course I'm fighting for her honor every fight. So there's stakes. Wow. I have to. Yeah, I have to perform for my wife.
Okay.
I mean, just losing to the broom guy has got to be. You might want to quit, So right. That's.
You lost to a guy that just got married to a broom. He's on his honeymoon.
Yeah, he's technically on his honeymoon.
Right. These other fighters better fucking win.
There's no coming back from that.
Right.
You're out. It's funny. It's interesting because I swear, didn't we just talk about this last night? That and anybody listening, if anyone knows, I want to find a good. I guess I don't even care if it's good. I want to find a wrestling game, I guess on PlayStation or computer, I don't know, that we can play multiplayer and create our own characters.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Create the characters, create the personas, and then stream fights as them.
Yeah.
In the personas.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm down.
I want to do that. So please, if anyone knows a good wrestling game that we can do that, let us know. I want to do this.
That sounds fun.
Thank you, Ryan.
Yeah. Awesome.
That's a great question.
Wonderful question. Mm-hmm. Was that all the Instagram?
We have another one if you want to do that. I didn't know if you want to do that or save it.
We can save it. Yeah. Geez, I lost track of time. We can save it.
I mean, I'm fine still going if you want to, or if you want to, you have another couple things on this, tarot cards. If you want to,
I got in trouble for I probably shouldn't bring that up.
Okay.
I was reprimanded. I did tarot readings on stream with Austin on Austin's stream last night, and I got reprimanded for doing that today because I was making fun of tarot cards. And
Who
do you think?
Your wife? Yeah. Okay, that's fair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, speaking of making fun of stuff, I did a show. We can do this and head out. Yeah. All right. I did a show in Hillsboro, which is near Chapel Hill. Which Chapel Hill comedy, I've been on record, and I'm actually on another podcast where Chapel Hill comedy is the worst kind of comedy there is. Not comedy, but I guess audiences where everyone's like super sensitive. I'll put it this way. I did a show one time, and I was doing I was talking about guns. You guys were at the special. I don't say anything crazy about guns. I was talking about a Pokemon card joke that I have. I was doing that, and I said that, and the bartender stops the show. They go, no. Hey, we're not doing that in here. And I go, I don't have one. I was like, I'm just talking. I'm just doing a joke. And then she goes, no, read the sign, and points to a sign with a gun with a fucking no gun sign on there. That's how fucking sensitive they are. And then, of course, I made jokes about, other people are walking, and I was like, well, you guys better not even fucking talk about guns in here. And then the audience, trying to play off, trying to get out of a hole that this fucking bartender just put me in.
Like you were a kid acting up in a class.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I was like, I'm here doing your fucking show, and you're giving me more work to do. So anyway, they suck, and so I'm in this Hillsboro. I'm doing. Speaking of new jokes, was working on some new stuff, and I had the show was good. And afterwards, I had this woman had to be early 70s, maybe. She came up to me and she goes, you were so good. That was so funny. And I'm so glad you came. You remind me of Seinfeld. And I go, in my head, I'm like, I'll take that, but no. Like, we're very different. Like, I love him. He's one of my all-time favorites. And she's like, I'm sure I'll see you on late night TV one day. I'm like, well, that's dead. So
yeah, nobody's on late night TV
on there anymore. And she walks away. And then I have another girl, maybe early 30s, come up to me, and she goes, you know this joke that you have? And I go, yeah. And she goes, don't do that joke anymore. And I go, that's weird. I just had an older lady early. This is the juxtaposition you can get from a show of just being like, good show, one person, you're fucking, that was funny. And the only reason I tell you about the first lady is because she was so happy. She was like, thank you for coming. You were really good. I'm sure I'll see you in the ether of comedy. And then another person saying, hey, don't do this joke. Who is younger, which if anyone's probably going to get offended, like older people might be offended, but I don't know. I don't know anything.
Who knows? Yeah.
So what's the joke? What is this controversial?
So I don't think so. Here's the thing about this joke too: is first of all, it's a new joke that I'm doing that is clearly, and I even said after I go, well, I'll just go ahead and I don't want to spoil anything, but especially when you're doing new jokes, you don't want to throw the whole thing out there. But I'll just tell you the premise. The premise is that, and this is true, that we went to a birthday party and this girl got toy makeup, and Peyton was over there and they were all playing with toy makeup. And then we came home and we closed the door. And as soon as we got home, Peyton starts like crying like hard. And I was like, what's wrong? And she said, I want makeup because I'm not beautiful. And I swear to God, it like broke my heart seeing this start so early for a 4-year-old. And I just thought of it as a big teaching moment where I was like, listen, honey, you don't need makeup to be beautiful. Okay. But some of your friends don't have a choice. so there's the twist and turn of, and that's the opening. And then of course I have other tags and punchlines that, and I threw them all by day and I said, what do you think? And she said, I think it's funny, which if I get a thumbs up from her, that means we're fucking good, because there's a lot of shit that I've said where she's like, I don't like it. And I go, okay, well, if you don't like it, then I don't want to say it, because obviously I'm also, I mean, in an indirect way, this is part of my family. I don't want to like represent something that they're not, don't also like be like, oh, it's funny or whatever, So anyway, that's the start of it. And just real quick, it's like, it basically goes down to like how pretty people have things just handed to them in life and how it's bullshit and whatever. Right. So that's kind of the premise of it. And this woman's like, I don't think you should do that joke anymore. And I go, well, it's a joke. So like, that was my first defense of just like, oh, okay, well, I am kidding. It is like, I don't mean what I'm saying up there. That's, as long as I'm talking into a microphone that is set up for comedy, then it should be interpreted as a joke. And she's like, yeah, but your message isn't empowering. And by the way, this is very key. This is very key to the whole story. She's talking to me the whole time like this. She's like, yeah, but she's messing with the back of her hair. She's wearing a tank top. She's like, this is, it's not very saying that there's like a hierarchy to like pretty people. And I'm like, there is no hierarchy. I'm just saying that they don't have to work as hard. That's kind of like what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying like being beautiful or pretty is like what you should try to attain. That's not in it at all. So she's doing this, and I'm just like, listen to her. And I am open to criticism and feedback, because the last thing I want to do if someone has a problem with a joke, I do want to hear why. And if I think it's bullshit, or if there's something real that I'm like, or if they interpret it a different way and the way I'm saying it, and then I have to look back at me and go, shit, I think maybe the way I say it, maybe I need to switch a word, or maybe I need to make this clearer. And I've done that before. So that's okay. But she's doing this, and she's saying like, yeah, but like saying pretty people have a hierarchy. And I look down, full armpit hair under there. And I go, this joke ain't for you. This is, and again, God bless.
Double down. Double down.
But it was like,
to your guns.
Yeah, it was like, look, I understand, and I don't want to, whatever you do is, I have no problems with, but I mean, like, this, for someone to like come up and be like, you shouldn't do this joke anymore, and be like, and I remember her like, I doing this joke, and then she like raises her hand and she's like, no, and like, normally I'll like address a heckler or something like that, but I saw her and I go, fuck that, and I just steamrolled past and like kept doing the joke, and then she like shut up. But the fucking, just the way that people are of being like, no, you shouldn't do this joke anymore. Oh, that's weird, because you're not anyone who like, it is a joke, man. It's a joke, and it's not even a bad joke. And if my wife approved it, then it is definitely okay. So I don't know. I just found it interesting, the juxtaposition you can get of like, hey, you're great. Hey, you suck. And it's like, okay, well, thanks a lot for coming, and I appreciate it. But also that it's like, I don't care that she has armpit hair. I don't, I know lots of ladies. I don't know any ladies, but I mean, just the topic, and then kind of like who she was talking about like crystals and stuff. I was like, all right, this might not be your joke.
She chose to come out and do a comedy show. That's on her.
It's like the Disney people. It's like it's a fine line. Like I get, like you wanna, like everybody's entitled to be offended or not like stuff, and yeah, like voicing your feedback and stuff. But then also it's like, yeah, like what Steven said, like you came out to the show, you can leave. You don't have to stay and hear these things. Like I guess I just don't understand like spending any energy in talking to you.
Yeah. I mean, like all my stuff, I try to make pretty down the fairway. Yes, I think there's some stuff that I'm doing now where I'm playing around like on the fringe of stuff, but like not like I would never think. I look at all the stuff I'm doing now, and I'm like, no one would get offended at this, but apparently people do. Again, last time, by the way, the people who had commented on my special after talking about that joke about the person who was like, "You're incredibly offensive," and then they put it underneath the on the YouTube special. That was super funny, and it had a
that's great. Wow.
So, but I think like people also like misinterpret what I'm saying too. Like I had a clip do well on Instagram, and so I have that joke about Santa Claus, the Santa Claus joke, where I had two older brothers, and then I say I just saw stuff way too early. It's like you shouldn't see porn and still believe in Santa Claus, right? That's one of the jokes in there. And someone commented, she goes, "Your kid saw porn too early," and I go, and I don't respond to comments normally, but I was like, you're accusing me of showing my kids like, or like them seeing porn and me like being like that, my kids seeing porn. I was like, no, I'm talking about like, I was like, no, I'm not talking about my kids. I'm talking about me, like my experience. And she goes, "You saw porn too early?" And question mark. And she goes, "That's so sad." And I was like, why are you here? Just fucking move on. The people who spend the energy to comment like, you can't change my past. It's like a classic line is like, hey, you guys not laughing about this won't change anything. So it's like if there's a touchy subject or whatever, but I don't know.
Like, I feel like comedy is a pretty good, like shit that doesn't fly is gonna get weeded out.
Right. Yeah.
Like if it's not good, if it's offensive, if it's a shitty message, for the most part, yeah, like there are people that have a platform and tell god awful jokes with shit messages that shouldn't be heard. But for the most part, it's going to get weeded out. The market's going to decide who gets more shows, who gets booked, who goes on. So like, why spend the time?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's, I guess, like I don't comment on stuff on the internet. I don't, comment on video. So like, I guess it's a mentality that I just don't understand.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I think that clip only did decent because I talk about how I saw that movie It too early. I saw that movie It when I was 7. That's the line I say in there. And 20% of the comments are, "It came out in 2017, so what are you, 12? Like, you're not 12. Like, I was
original
dumbfounded, dude. I responded to the first 6 by saying, "It came out in 1999 or 1990 on 2 VHS tapes. You had, and I explained that. And by the fucking 20-second one, I was like, I don't care. I don't fucking care. This
Just
is
post
your
the
fault.
IMDb page
Fucking
link.
Google it. Say, is the fact that so many people didn't know it was a remake blew my fucking pants off, dude.
I hate that, and the fact that they don't read the comments.
They didn't read the comments. Everyone's saying the same thing. I'm like, fucking just look and see. That's so I've never if I think of a funny thing to comment under someone's video, I will go to comment, or if I think of a joke to say or whatever, I go to comment, and if someone's already written that joke or something close to it, I fucking don't comment. That's exactly what I do. But the fact that other people, you're going to comment, you can see the other comments. Fucking look. Oh, dude, I was just like,
they're like, I got this dinger. I got this home run here. I got to get this out.
Yeah.
Just laser focus into the comment section.
So crazy.
That's really frustrating.
They always tell you, like, and I always hear like comedians talking about never read the comments. Just never read them. Don't react. It's fine. And then of course you're just like, yeah, they just like, they're not even like intending. I mean, yeah, just the just people not interpreting. Like your kids watch porn. Did you fucking listen to the clip? I don't even say my kids at all in that thing.
Yeah.
Fucking dickbag.
Dunce.
1, 2, 3, 4.